I got the power to move you.
You're listening to the PlaNiya podcast series.
Episode 5, still growing strong.
Always remember, this line is your mind.
Greetings. Welcome to the PlaNiya podcast series, episode 5. I am TheJasmineGreenMcConico. I say the to make myself feel better. The purpose of this series is to evoke thoughts and resurrect your true opinions. Remember, your thoughts should be your own. Today we will be exploring the concepts of back in the day versus nowadays. Modern versus traditional. I've been working really hard getting this one together. I did not just want to deliver anything to you, so let me apologize for my absence on my YouTube channel, my main page. I still been kind of current on my other ones, but I'm back now. So please forgive, my absence, but I'm bringing you something really good today. Also, again, modern versus traditional and how it plays a part in today as it relates to mental health, physical health, and how it plays a large part in our success today. So as we dive in, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the track. Alright, let's go ahead and dive in with my apologies once again. I had a lot of people texting me, fussing, talking myself. You done finally got us into these podcasts and then you just disappeared. Had a lot going on, but I did not want to do like I did in previous years and just drop everything with my YouTube channel or whatever. This year I'm fighting. I'm fighting for everything that I want, everything. So in my absence, I wasn't doing any, I wasn't like being idle. I was working towards some other goals and stuff like that, and anxiety kicked in here and there, but I fought through it. So this year is the year of a fight, to make sure that, I do everything that I said I was going to do. But today I'm speaking from the perspective of a black woman, okay? However, I have solicited the help of one of my brothers to hit on some points too. I've broken this episode down into 4 parts. That's music, business, love, and respect. Okay, going back to the purpose of the podcast series, which is to evoke true thought process, which is pretty much something that I felt used to happen back in the day. The Bible and my beliefs tell me that there is nothing new under the sun, but to a certain extent, I beg to differ. Society has always been able to box people in a certain way of thinking, yet people still people still continue to stand out on their own or in their own ways, traditionally. But nowadays, individuality as a mindset and as an outfit are far and few between, especially for those of you who are more creative. Sometimes that lends us to be on the outside of the box, or a lot of us to simply be pretty much forced into conformity or to conform. When you conform to everybody else, the you that you were, or who you were, when you go with the flow of everybody else to the point where it's just like your thought process is gone, you're just going with it, you annihilate your chance to be great. I feel that's just my personal opinion. Okay, these are my thoughts. All right, true artists, true success stories have always been different. Everybody has always had their own struggle. No two people's struggles are alike. They might have some similarities, which enables us to have common ground with people, which opens up doors for compassion and all that and support. However, true success stories have always been different. You ain't never heard where somebody did the same thing, blah, 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 and then like this miraculous thing. Because, honestly, like, a lot of those people make their own paths. I'm not saying not saying that, because success is success. But to me, there are different levels of it. You can either make a difference or you can kind of be selfish with your success. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, today the lack of individuality is at an all-time high. You don't see no, like, you see people trying to be different, but in them trying to be different, they end up doing the same thing somebody else did. They just take it to a 10. Today, if we take a look at music, the reproduction of it, back in the day, you know, we had 8-tracks, we have records, and I collect records. I love records. If you want to send me a gift just because, send me a record. I'm going to tell you which one to get. I want you to get the Cinderella record from back in the day. The old Cinderella cartoon. Yes, with all those old songs, I want that record. When we went to Disney World, I looked in one of them stores. They didn't have them. Somebody hadn't got them all. But anyway, but just look at the production of music, 8-tracks, records, cassettes, CDs, and nowadays we have MP3s and online streaming. Back in the day, you had a full band right there, a full band just doing everything, and now everything is computerized. Excuse me. Not everything is computerized. And it was something about being able to purchase and collect albums. Music had a meaning, and now music is soulless, in my opinion. I find myself searching through a lot of independent artists because those people are putting their everything into that music. And a lot of their music is getting unheard because people are going for what is popular. If somebody say, "Oh, that song is popping," then that person automatically starts convincing themselves that that song is popping, when on their first initial listen to it, it is complete, utter trash. And I actually I'm dropping a video today, and it was supposed to come from my reading Railroad episode of Jasmine Sketchy, which was supposed to drop in February, but I'm going to adversely possess the month of March to be a part of Black History Month. But anyway, I did a parody of those music videos in my hallway because I recorded a track basically to show, you know, I can make anything sound like, I mean, the song is trash. It is trash. But I bet you if I got it into the right hands of the right producer or whatever, I'm pretty sure that song could go far. So I'm just going to insert my little parody of the music that I hear, what I see surfacing on Facebook and stuff like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and continue.
Turn up. Twerk. I said twerk. Yeah. Listen. Hey, my name is Lolly. Pop with me, I'm Molly. I look like a dolly. Yo, sonny called me mommy. Last night got kinda crazy. I got up on the cable. Released all my cakes, cause I was able. These days we stay getting faded. Leave my crew looking straight painted. We artwork, we tainted. We pretty though, so it's straight big. My hair stay laid to the guard. Deserve a round of applause. My body right, we got tonight, and my head is straight down. Turn up, too ready to twerk. And act the fool, these girls wanna get mad. Ziplocs better get clad, but not watching your man. I'm probably borrowing him. I say what? Turn up, twerk. I own the lil. Turn up, I own the twerk. Turn up, twerk. I own the lil. Turn up, I own the twerk. Once, turn up, twerk. I own the lil. Turn up, I own the twerk. Once, turn up, twerk. I own the lil. Turn up, I own the twerk. Okay, I admit it. I'm the meaning of ratchet. If I throw it, I catch it. When they ball, nigga, I bap it. I am what you call stupid. Sucking on cancer sticks. Ain't got no business shutting down the clubs. I'm so pathetic and wrong, but you still liking this song. Ain't the type that you can take home. Girls still singing along. So cool to be ignorant. Get paid when they like it. She calling me on my cell phone, telling me to leave her hubby alone. They all stay in my face, all on my case. They want us not to love it. When we let them touch it. Stupid, we ain't smart. Drink all these feelings down
Alright, so basically, nobody was slut shaming, no nothing. I was just calling like it is. I'm just be honest. I'm just gonna be honest about it. First of all, you're treated the way you present yourself. You want to be taken seriously, but if you don't take yourself seriously, if you ain't about no business, if your whole life, I'm not saying parts, I'm saying if your whole life is based upon you partying, is based upon you harming or being a detriment to other families or whatever, playing a part in the separation of a family or some sort, if you're constantly, like obsessively, to the amount that it's just seemed too much, consuming things that are detrimental to your body and your health and stuff like that, and you bragging about it, and you ain't going nowhere, bro, or nowhere, sis, yeah, that's who I'm talking to. That is exactly who I'm talking to. I'm straight picking and praying on y'all. It's contradiction, but it's the truth, because I really want us all to do better. But then you have those who I feel are fools who, they get so offended. They so stuck in it. They don't want to do better. And so when somebody actually wants to show them or root for them to do better, they get offended. I'm not the one to tell anybody down about it, but I will, if you ask me, tell you, yeah, you could be doing a little bit more. Y'all done heard me. I will push you to the max. I will tell you, this is what you need to be doing. This is what you could do. Not to tell you what to do, but just to offer my suggestions. And I will be so annoying to you to make sure that you reach your full potential and that you're happy. Because, I'm a very compassionate person. I love to see people get happy. But anyway, back to the music. It's no longer inspiring. There was nothing inspiring about that song or anything like it. Music now has people living in the moment. You hear the beat, first thing you do, you start bobbing your head, moving your hips. And it starts releasing those little hormones. They be like, I'm good for the moment. It takes you away. And then you get stuck in the YOLOs, not looking ahead. It's mindless. It does not pour anything good into us. It does not spark our creativity. It tells us what to think. And this is what our children are listening to. So I'm going to stop right there for the whole children thing. And I'm going to introduce you to my brother. He's a filmer, videographer, photographer, director, a writer, an artist, everything. His name is Jamel Bano. I call him Bleak. And he's a force. He's an up-and-coming force to be reckoned with. I already say he's a force to be reckoned with, but he's about his business. And he was gracious enough to come onto the podcast today and give his insight on what's going on today versus back in the day. And we're going to try to figure out how we can make today better.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, sis? I just wanted to say thank you, for reaching out to me to do this real quick. As I was sitting back thinking about it, three things really stuck out to me as far as, things of back then and things of now. The first one, I feel like the kids nowadays lack imagination. For example, back in the days when we were kids, we really didn't have much, and we really didn't need much to be creative. We did stuff like Skelly, tag, hide go seek, all that stuff. You would think like in this age and with all of this technology, we would be able to, the kids would be able to go through the roof with imagination. Their ideas would go through the roof, but it seemed like to be the total opposite. Nowadays, the kids now, they're not even that they don't communicate with each other like we did back in the days as kids. Now they use their form of communication as texting and FaceTiming and Skyping and all of that stuff that we got now. So it's like no need for these kids nowadays to really go out and talk and play with each other. Mm-hmm. They feel like, yo, I see you every day on this and that. And now, that's my D, you don't really have a lot of that communication like we did back in the days. When I was to go out, my mom told me to go out, I had to play around and just have blocks and pencils and all of that good stuff, man. And I used to make spacecrafts and everything. But it's like now it's different. For two, I would say direction. With all of these resources and stuff, back in the days, man, we had a lot of more respect for the adults and, for church and just period. Back in the days, if you outside cursing and doing stuff you're not supposed to do, people in your neighborhood would come check you because you had that foundation where the neighborhood raised the kids like it's supposed to be. It takes a village. But nowadays, the kids are starting to be more younger, that they're the ones parenting these kids. So they didn't even mature well themselves, and now they have kids. And so as they're maturing and all of the immature nature that they have, they're passing it on to their kids. Like you see more kids going viral twerking and the mom twerking right beside them, or, mom twerking and the kid throwing money, like showing a symbolization of you a pimp and the mom is like the hoe, And that's all because the mom herself is still young. And nowadays, if you say anything to a person's kid, even if the kid is wrong, the parent is ready to fight you, and they got all kind of Facebook video lives and all that, and want to tape them disrespecting. Even back in the days when you walk past a church, you could be cursing the whole block. And you could be wild and you could be doing a whole bunch of stuff. But when you get close to that church, you would stop and wait till you get past that church on the next block and then go back to doing all of the hellish stuff you're doing. Nowadays, you got kids shooting up churches. You got kids cursing all in church, cursing past the church. When they see adults, they don't stop. They keep cursing. They even do videos of them hitting adults. So that's why I say I think a lack of direction is because we got too many kids nowadays raising other kids. And not only that is there's no big mamas like they were back in the days. You always had that strong mother, or you had that strong grandmother who kept stuff in line, who was the backbone. Like, you say something wrong, pop you in the mouth and stay out of grown folks' business and all that. Nowadays, none of that is rare if you do have it, And it's so many laws now that a lot of parents are scared because of that. And my final one, I would say, is no one cares about each other like they used to. Before, you would love to see each other grow. You'll love to see each other make it. And it's like now, everybody is for themselves. There's no care in the world. You got kids writing notes to other kids that want to commit suicide saying, good, the world is better without that person. Like, heartlessness. Suicide is at an all-time high because of bullying. And it's like now, these kids have no remorse for doing it. When back in the days, you was a bully or you got bullied, mama will grab you. If you the one that got bullied, mama will grab you by the ear and tell you, we gonna go back out there and you gonna handle your business. If you don't handle your business, I'm gonna beat your butt and still take you out there to handle your business. Or if you was the bully and somebody come to you, the mama of the bully will tear the bully up, Now it's like, it's no repercussions for anything you're doing. It's always that person's a child, but they're doing adult things. So I would just say, if you're a parent that's raising in this age, I would say have an open ear to these kids, because it's a whole new ball game. Don't use extreme old tactics, because the way we was raised is a lot different. So these kids are going through way more than they did when we wasn't. Like, when we was growing up, we didn't go through half of the stuff these kids doing. And it's also that just listen to them. These kids are going through adult issues and adult things, and a lot of the times they don't have nobody to talk to, because people will tell them to stay in the child's place, when really this child is going through adult business, because ain't no child activities going on anymore. But I'm not gonna ramble. I just would say, if you got your kid, have an open conversation with them. Listen to them. Don't just automatically look. I'll talk, you shut up and listen. Don't say nothing, because a lot of times these kids got a lot to say, and they've been through a lot. And we got to be that voice of reason. We got to be that ear that they can hear, so they can be able to actually be able to go through the day. Because if they have nobody else to talk to, there's some bad people out there. There's gangs. There's pimps. There's people that will show them the attention we're not showing them, as far as giving them an ear, giving them advice, letting them know that, look, they safe haven to be able to talk to, because if we don't give it to them, somebody else is.
And I can completely agree with everything that he said. And a lot of you all are probably thinking, okay, we're supposed to be talking about us today, what we can do today. But what a lot of us fail to realize, and something that he hit on, was that we're all for self. Okay, well, eventually we're going to get old. Who going to run the world after we're unable to? We have to be able to set ourselves up now, and to set ourselves up for later. These kids, those who are coming up under us, I don't want to be scared to walk to my mailbox. I got to deal with somebody ignorantly. When I build, what I'm going to build is going to be built with respectable children. But anyway, thank you, Jamel, for coming on and giving us some words of wisdom. But that rolls us over to the next topic, or the next part, which is love and respect. As he stated, there's not a lot of respect, and a lot of kids are raising themselves and not seeing a lot of love. And I see a lot of that in my classroom. I see a lot of that in interacting with different co-workers. I see a lot of that with interacting with different people. It used to be you can walk in the store and you can say hey to somebody, you can smile, and they wouldn't look at you like really you ready to fight. Like, people just crazy nowadays. You can't even say a friendly hello. But anyway, music has undeniable access to our spirits. It becomes a part of us. And nowadays, men and women, especially women of color, are so disrespectful and so angry. And a lot of that has to do with what we're seeing. When I was growing up, and even still to this day, I would watch this show called Family Matters. With Steve Urkel and Laura and Carl Winslow and all this stuff. And it had morale. It had lessons. It had life lessons and how to deal with stuff and how to deal with people. And shows like Sister and Smart Guy and My Brother and Me and all that. Kid and Kel, Boy Meets World. That's So Raven. And as I get older, I find myself diving deeper into shows like A Different World, which was booming when I was an infant. It came out in 88, and I was born in 89. In fact, my auntie stole Jasmine Guy's name and named me after her. My name is Jasmine, because in the show, she acted like such a lady and so prestigious. So she casted that positive influence onto me. And I want all of us to be able to have somebody be named after us because we're casting those positive and prestigious images down. That's what they're seeing now. Our kids, what comes in my classroom, oh no, let me change it, because all my babies are good. And where they were loose, I tighten them up. But what I see around my school and what I hear and all that stuff, they're acting like what they see on TV. They're doing just that. But anyway, we watch shows now like Sanford and Son, and it's like the list goes on. And you compare it to how it is now, you got Love and Hip Hops and Basketball Wives and Atlanta Housewives and all these housewives shows, and just women being catty and dudes squaring up and dudes disrespecting women. Nobody's really having respect for their relationships like that. You probably see a handful of great examples, and I mean, that's what's out there. So we need to team up to make sure we can be putting out good stuff, like, I don't know, brain nutrition or whatever, so we can build up our community, because this is ridiculous. We so busy looking down at our feet in them pictures. Here I go with the social media thing. Y'all know I get super offended about them pictures. Pointing at your feet because you steady looking down and we trying to go up. But anyways, what we have to do, we have to have like a positive reflection that is not mediocre or that's just not done in popularity. I see certain shows that, you know, it kind of hits on morale, but it mostly hits on drama. And because, you know, popularity rose on the particular writer so quickly, you know, the script started to lack a little bit, and it started to become like an improv type thing. Shows that I feel like have excellent writers, Blackish, that's great. I love Blackish. Blackish is amazing. That is amazing, I tell you. And the show This Is Us, that's amazing. Amazing. And I feel like the character Randall is so accurate. I actually struggle with anxiety and trying to do everything perfect and trying to handle everything and worrying about everybody and all that stuff. And a lot of Black people don't like to speak about, you know, those types of struggles and things like that, but they have to be dealt with and nurtured so that we can become healthy, so we can push forward. That's not just a white issue or every other race issue. It happens in the Black community too. We have to be strong enough to fight that. But anyways, those are some shows that exemplify positive reflections within our community, but there's not enough of them in my opinion. I found a lot of good stuff on YouTube. I do, but because it's on YouTube, ain't nobody really trying to push that, ain't nobody trying to make that be seen. You don't see it a lot, and that's why I'm so proud of the Black Panther movie, because just first of all, just seeing the strength in the team he had with him, the Black women, it's just, you did not, first of all, there were Black women who were fighting together, not fighting each other. The very things that they pick on us about the Black woman taking off her wig or a wig being pulled off during a fight. Homegirl took her wig off and fought with it. Okay? When a Black woman takes off her shoe, she took off her shoe and she hit that joker with it. My favorite part of that entire movie was when it got to the end and she had her spear drawn on her man and he asked her, "Would you kill me, my love?" And she said, "For this, in a heartbeat," or whatever that last part she said. And that joker dropped his blade and dropped to his knees and surrendered. He was strong enough as her man to surrender because she stood and believed in something that much. It was so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Just, oh my goodness. And seeing how beautiful we are as a people in that movie, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we need to see more of. So if we could stop playing around and get to this spirit of excellence within all of us, so I can start, dropping these little shout outs and stuff on the show. I feel, a little discouraged every now and then when I look at the views and stuff like that. But then I remember somebody's listening. Somebody's gonna hear it. And I do it because I'm told to do it. It's an assignment. It's a purpose. So if we could stop worrying about everybody else. I'm always told that everything good follows your passion and your purpose. Okay? So moving right along. Black Panther brings upon a certain respect. And the director, Ryan Coogler, he's young. He's 31? And he already has his keys to his business, which leads me to the last part, business. We don't support each other, and each other don't put no pride in what we want to be supported. I'm just going to say it, okay? My struggle with going to black establishments, it looks like no pride was taken with it. It's like and it's not everybody. I'm just addressing those who do this, okay? It's like you start this business and then you want people to pour love into it. But your presentation, if I go into your business and the floors aren't clean and the tables aren't scrubbed and the walls aren't scrubbed, and I know you got $1 to go to the dollar store to get some cleaning material, or I know you got some vinegar back there in that kitchen, and I know you got some baking soda, and I know you got some water. Like I know for a fact that it can look way better than what it's looking. I can recognize when something is like, okay, they're just starting out. They don't have it like that to do this, that, and the third. But when it just looks like I'm just here. When I walk into your establishment and you kick back, you leaning back, ain't no spirit of excellence within it, ain't no pride in you don't have pride in your own business, then yeah, I am very hesitant. But when I see my bro pushing this thing, and he got everything lined up, even if it's not lined up, you could tell his pride is behind it. Like, he cares if something goes bad with it. He cares about the well-being and the health of this business that he started, or she cares about the presence, the products she is pushing and all that stuff. I will support that wholeheartedly. But if you can't believe in your own project, you can't expect nobody else to believe in it. I mean, think about it. Would you buy, and I'm not calling it trash, but would you buy a bag of trash? Would you eat somewhere where you see roaches running around and anything's not clean? Let's be real with it. When you're making clothes, the clothes that we rock and we brag and stuff like that, if you don't even take the time to survey whatever you've sewn, and there's a little string that's loose, and you don't even take the time to clip it, or you don't even take the time to really fold it, you hand it to somebody balled up or something like that. Come on now, that's a bit disrespectful. And it's just like, how do you expect us to, I don't know, support it? Back in the day when that was all people could do, when it was less of us getting jobs, when there were actually babies and families depending on this thing working in order to eat, then that pride was taken. But nowadays you got this whole microwavable thing, and people feel like money will just come to you like that, and they're okay with a little bit as long as we're able to get these shoes, as long as we're able to do this right here in this moment, not for the future, but in this moment. I'm able to do this right here with this money. Ain't no pride being taken. Okay, it's alright if I can just sell this minute, then I'll be alright, and I'll be able to make ends meet, and I'll be able to get a little some, and I can hold up my little sign and say, hey, I'm a business owner while I rock these clothes and make people think that I'm making way more than I am. We got to stop that. We can't continue living in the moment for the rest of our lives, because when we die, we ain't gonna leave anything behind. Nothing. No legacy. No nothing. And I'm one of those types of people. I want to be done left a legacy within the people who are coming behind me. Grandma Jasmine, don't play that. We got to make sure that we are saving our money. We're investing our money. We're growing. We got to keep this business going. Blah, blah, blah. My descendants are going to have sense. Okay? And so, in order for our world to be beautiful, in order for us to have a strong community, I'm going to need your descendants to do the same thing. Okay? Just think about the Black Wall Street. It's possible. It's possible. If you don't know about the Black Wall Street, just look it up. Just look it up. And going back, people don't even respect themselves enough. They just give up because society glamorizes it, literally. And they said it's okay to be mediocre. Like, it's just okay. I don't do this. I just live in my mama's house and I'm good. I'm eating. Okay. All right. And it's like, it's a setup, in my opinion, because it's like they don't want you to do any better. And I just got really hot because I'm really passionate about that topic. Like, I get really upset when people just sit down and just are okay. Like, I can get if you depressed or whatever, but get up. I need you to. And I need you to make sure that I'm continuing to. I get it. I get working hard, coming home, and not having any energy to even get out of bed, to pick out your work clothes for the next day. I get it. I get not having the energy to even think about going to the pantry or the refrigerator to try to piece together a meal. I get it. You don't want to deal with your hair. You don't want to go back the next day, deal with your boss, blah, 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 blah. I get it. I get it. But get this. If you get up right now, if you put your mind to it right now to do better, at all costs, as long as it's you ain't doing nothing fraudulent, you ain't doing nothing wrong, but at all costs against anything that's been bothering you with the same intensity of that depression times 20, you take all those feelings, you turn it into something positive, and you go after what you want. I guarantee you, this time next year, you're going to have a different song. This time next year, you're going to have a different song. In the name of Jesus, I claim it and I speak it. And if you don't believe it, I'm speaking it for you. It is so. But faith without works is dead. We judge each other. We knock each other, and instead of building off each other, we act like, it's one piece of cornbread left for everybody, when there's a whole pan that'll feed us 20 times over. I don't get it. I don't. We need to gain back that vintage self. That self from back in the day. Not the mindset, because I ain't saying revert back into being a boy or revert back into being a little girl. No, we have to be adults about it. We have to have some business about ourselves. I'm talking about revert back to your originality, your individuality, your thoughts, your ideas, your creativities. Not, this is what's popping now, so let me change my style just a little bit. I'd love to see what you would dress like if you weren't looking at that dude outfit. I'd love to see what your hair would look like if you weren't trying to make it look like sister girls over here. I would love to see what your minds could do if you went back to who you are as a person, as opposed to what they're doing in their lane. You can't outperform somebody else in their lane. So if you're trying to do what somebody else is doing in their lane, you ain't gonna have nowhere to go, because they're already ahead of you, and you can't pass them because they gonna win in their lane. Alright. Again, if you just gain back that vintage self, the self that is uninfluenced by society and its ideas of what power is, because ultimately it changes like the waves and the winds. But anyway, I'ma stop. I'ma save some for the next week and them other times, you know what I'm saying? Because if it was up to me, I'd be preaching all day. I may end up changing the topic next week, so I'm not going to announce what next week's topic is. However, if you're interested in getting on one of my podcasts, shoot me an email, a comment below. That way, you know, I can have time to email you or send you the questions or whatever, or the topic, and you can record your little bit on it or whatever, and I can get you up on here. Shout out to Bleak, my brother, for joining us on this Comcast today and podcast today. Look at me, they talking about me. The cable company. Anyway, shout out to my mama, who's always been supportive, who always told me never forget who I am and never cease to follow my dreams. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to my brother DJ. Shout out to my hubby and my daughter Jordan. Shout out to all my subscribers and my listeners. Shout out to my students, who reminds me of why I'm trying to be a great example and why I'm trying to go for it. Not saying that everybody else don't, but it's like these the people who gonna be checking, you know, who gonna be checking me into the doctor's office and examining me and stuff like this is what I'm gonna have to watch as entertainment one day. So shout out to all of them, and yeah, I'll see y'all next week, or talk to y'all next week. Love y'all. Bye.